it's not only individuals that are getting prepared for shortages, for specific SHTF scenarios. This particular city in Texas is preparing. What are they doing? Find out. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all having a wonderful time considering what's going on right now in this world. But hey, all smiles, all smiles. Back in February of 2021 in Texas, there was that freeze, right? And seemed like most people, especially cities, when you get to the city government, they use that freeze as a reference point to get prepared for the next natural disaster, the next shortage, whatever. The city of San Antonio is doing something similar. According to this article I'm reading here, it can be found on, it's called the San Antonio Report. I guess it's their local publication or whatever. It says the city's $9 million emergency bunker will stockpile water, bottles, other supplies. Goes on to say, among the more obscure additions to San Antonio's 2023 fiscal year budget, the city plans to acquire an emergency supply bunker to store water bottles, food, and other equipment for first responders. Now, I'm hoping, I really haven't read this article yet. I've skimmed through it, but I'm hoping it says something about what they're doing for the actual people. Yes, I do believe the emergency responders need to be well taken care of, but what are they doing for the actual people? It goes on to say the move comes at the recommendation of a committee formed to assess the city's emergency preparedness after Winter Storm Uri in February 2021, according to city manager Eric Walsh. During that storm, wide swaths of northern San Antonio lost water service after power was cut to key pumping sites, and the city and county worked to distribute bottled water. Quote, when we needed to buy bottled water after Uri, we were on the phone with Arkansas trying to get 18-wheelers down here. We had no stock on hand, unquote, Walsh told reporters in a budget presentation last month. Twice in the last 2.5 years, we've had to scramble because we didn't have the inventory of water on hand or emergency supplies or meals ready to eat, said Walsh. The city plans to store supplies such as batteries, gloves, disinfectant, and masks and supply in the supply warehouse, which was included in a $3.4 billion budget city council approved Thursday. Elsewhere in the budget, the city plans to fund 4 emergency shelters throughout the city where residents can come to escape extreme weather. Aha. I was wondering if they're going to get to a part what they're going to do for the residents. So now I see here that they have 4. And did they say 4? Let's see. Yeah, they have plans. They said they have plans to fund 4 emergency shelters throughout the city where residents can come to escape extreme weather. They'll also be used to distribute basic supplies during disasters. So, sounds good, right? Walsh said the city is still determining where the emergency supply shortage will be located and whether officials will construct something new or purchase and renovate an existing space. The effort will be funded with $9 million of the city's roughly $80 million surplus from CPS energy revenue. That amount does not include the cost of supplies to stock the warehouse. So the city council spent weeks debating how to spend the CPS energy windfall, but few questioned city staff's plan to carve out money for the supply warehouse. Now you see, and I'm not going to read the entire article. I'll leave a link here for it, but I do like the fact that they're preparing for something in that city. That's a good thing. Now, I don't know if all cities are doing this. Like this is San Antonio, Texas. So in Texas, I don't know if, The city of Houston is doing this. Of course, the city of Houston is much larger, so, well, you would think it may be more difficult, but maybe not, because they're much larger. But I think the city has a bigger budget and more revenue also, so maybe it wouldn't be as difficult. But I don't know what Dallas is doing, the other cities like Phoenix or Miami or whatever. I don't know what they're doing, but it's good to see. But it's also a reminder of what we should be doing. And in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, why are they doing this? Do they know something we don't? Because many times, more times than not, the city officials and the city government, they know things, or they have they kind of get a hint of certain things that's going to come down the pipe, or, future events that we may not know about. So are they preparing for something that they know could be happening and they're not exactly telling us? That's a possibility. So in my mind, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, what else do I need to do? What else does my family need to do for any particular situation, emergency preparedness situation, right? And I hope all of you out there are doing that too. But looking at the article here, let me get back to it real fast. They said they were going to store supplies. The city plans to store supplies such as batteries, gloves, disinfectant, and masks in the supply warehouse. So yeah, we would need all of that also. We would definitely can use the batteries, the gloves, the disinfectant, and the mask. The mask probably for, not I would say not everything in here we'll use what you would think we'll use it for. Make sure you have plenty of batteries, because I know where I'm from is still in the midst of hurricane season. Hurricane season generally doesn't end until like November. So if you lose electricity or in any other emergency situation, if you don't have any batteries or phone chargers or whatever, it's going to be hard. Also, I would say have some type of radio that doesn't, maybe a battery operated radio or one of the hand crank radios. Keep one of those in stock, maybe even two. What's the old saying? I think it goes, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So keep that in mind. Gloves, of course, gotta have gloves. Different types of gloves. Of course, you have the kind that everyone's wearing. You see people wearing in the fast food industry now, and you see them wearing them at the hospital. Those type of gloves. But you also have other gloves too. Gloves that you have, that you'll use more the thick leather gloves that you'll use for work gloves, outdoor working, and even combat type of gloves and mechanic type of gloves, which are kind of one and the same sometimes depending on the manufacturer. But make sure you have plenty of those, and make sure you have at least one pair for everyone in the household. Like, you have 8 people in the household, but you have 2 pair of gloves. What the other 6 people gonna do? You know what I mean? But make sure you have at least 1 pair, if not 2, for every pair or every person in the household. And they also said disinfectant. Definitely gotta have that. Make sure keep the germs away, keep the germs at bay, right? But if the city's doing this, do they know something we don't know? That's always my question. Considering what's been going on the past couple of years, that's always my question. Really, do not count on your city to do this. Like, I don't know what city you all are in, and you can leave in the comments, let me know what city you're in, and have you heard of anything like this happening in your city? It may have been going on for years, I don't know, but has anything like this been happening in your city? Is your city planning on, having emergency bunkers to help out emergency, responders, first responders, and just having a whole emergency preparedness kits ready for people in the city? Is your city doing that? But once again, do not prepare, or do not plan on your city doing this for you. We have to do it for ourselves. If anything we have learned in the past couple of years, or 2.5 years, you should know that you can't depend on people, whether it's elected officials or anyone else, to help you in crisis situations. You have to be prepared for it. We have to be prepared for it. Doesn't matter the scenario. You have to be prepared for it. So anyways, let me know what you all think about this here. And as I always say, get ready, stay ready. God bless.